Hey guys, and welcome to another video, and welcome to episode 6 of season 2 of my F1 2017 career mode, which we are doing with William. So today we have some new upgrades for the car, as we did last year, and I'm not feeling too bad, for this race. We did keep our same setup, but let's hope we're gonna have a good weekend. Let's go to the first practice session though.
Welcome to the Circuit de Barcelona, Catalonia for the Spanish Grand Prix. Over the next few minutes, the teams will be heading out onto this classic Formula One track for what we're expecting to be a very hectic practice session.
We're going to be logging.
So for this race, I decided to go with a bit of a downforce setup. As you can see, tweaking the setup in the first practice session. I actually already did all the practice sessions, and they all went pretty much purple. And like as you can see, my ICE was at red, which is critical. So I decided to change them up. The gearbox looked pretty good. I didn't have any failures in practice session, so things looked pretty good. But now let's go to the first qualifying session for the Spanish Grand Prix.
Today's qualifying session is about to start here at the Circuit de Barcelona, Catalonia, and what a cracker of a session we're expecting it to be.
We don't need to push too hard in this session. We should have the pace to qualify easily.
So here we are in qualifying. This is my first and only run in Q1, which puts us P1 at first, which is great, but she continued on. We continued dropping off, but we were really definitely going to go into Q2, and yeah, in front of our teammate with a new fresh engine. I'm expecting big things from this race. Then I decided to go with a new strategy, going on the mediums for Q2, but as you saw there, it actually was raining for the race, and you can see the gap, the delta was actually going down. As you can see now, this is me completing the lap. It was such a bad lap, which put me in last place really. I just went out way too late, and that's my penalty for that. Then I decided to run it again with a set of intermediate tires. You can see this is my second and last run of the session. It was a pretty good run, and as you can see, we're currently P15, bottom of the grid. But as we go into the few final corners, it was a pretty clean lap. And going to the final corner now, you'll see where we're going to go up. It's going to be P6, so incredible result. We seem to have pretty good pace on these inters. So does Massa, who really seems to be doing great this season. I expected him to be out of Q3, but he actually is. But this is now Q3. It was raining too, and I went out with a set of inters from my first run, and there we can see this is my first run. We go purple. Good to see. We were actually in purple for most of the session, but we dropped down. We dropped down by around 8/10 from Sebastian Vettel, which is such a pity. I actually was still first until the session ended, which is BS in my opinion. Everyone literally improved. I really want to get a podium this season, that's my aim, and if we can get a win, that's even better. But without further ado, let's hope the race is not wet, because I want to start with a different strategy for today, and we can see I opted going for an upgrade, and I did. I went with an MGUK durability upgrade. But yeah, let's go to the race now.
What does the Spanish Grand Prix have in store for us today, I wonder? I hope we see some tight wheel-to-wheel action down the main straight, circa Mansell and Senna way back in '91. A tough race in store then for our drivers today, so tell me, Anthony Davidson, what will you be looking out for as the cars make their way down into turn 1?
Well, first of all, let's hope that everyone's well behaved and we can have a nice incident-free start. That initial release is going to be the most interesting thing. The clean side of the grid will be better rubbered in, so keep an eye out for cars over there potentially making their way through.
We're almost ready to go then, and this is what the starting grid looks like for today's race. Sebastian Vettel has a clear track ahead of him today. He starts in pole position, and Lewis Hamilton completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Raikkonen, Bottas, Max Verstappen and Ricciardo, Williams, Perez, Massa and Daniel Kvyat, Hülkenberg, Ocon, Carlos Sainz and Grosjean, Palmer, Magnussen, Fernando Alonso and Stoffel van Dorn, Wehrlein and Marcus Ericsson rounds off the grid. Now it's almost time to lights out, so let's go down to the track.
Okay, watch out at the race start. There will be faster cars trying to get past. See if you can hold them off.
So here we are on the grid. I decided to go with a strange strategy. I don't usually do this, but I decided to start on the harder compound and then change on to the softer compound later in the race. So fresh engine for this race. I'm hoping big things. We do have a bit of worn out gearbox, but in qualifying and in practice it didn't give me any problems, so that's pretty surprising. So I expected to do the same in this track. I actually forgot about it in the race, so you'll see what happens in the race. So here we are waiting for the 5 red lights, and it's lights out and away we go. It's a pretty good start compared to Ricciardo, who's in front of us, and Verstappen probably gonna overtake both of the Red Bulls. Coming to turn 1, we're gonna get sandwiched by both of them into the first corner. We got both of them actually now. We get a warning there for colliding with Verstappen, but we're fighting now Lewis Hamilton, who is a championship contender. We can actually go for even more here, as we're still fighting with him. I really want to get in front of him so that we can have a good position. He actually swipes us there. Pretty strange from him to do such a thing like that. Probably saw me. But dive it down the inside now with Hamilton. We push him a bit wide, give him a bit of his own medicine. He gets a very bad run out of his corner. We actually get a bit blocked there by him. But Mercedes engine versus Mercedes engine. Let's see who has the better brakes here. We brake very late. We squeeze him out. A bit, but we managed to get P4 from Lewis Hamilton. and we have Kimi Räikkönen in front of us, who is on the podium place. But now to lap 2, we're squeezing Hamilton off, trying to hold on P4, but unfortunately we didn't have enough pace, and unfortunately my gearbox had problems. You can clearly see the way it is switching gears and it's revving. My gearbox had problems. This could be crucial. As we can see there, Verstappen passes us. We lose a bit of the car there. Lose a heap of positions there. And also to our teammate. Collide a bit there with Ricardo. Oh no, what a horrible few laps we are having. You can see someone coming in there. I think it's Verstappen, who clearly must have had damage. DRS has been enabled now. They're clearly gonna use it on me. He's gonna dive it down inside. He's gonna try to. We leave him a bit of space. That's actually Kvyat, who's fighting for P6, which is incredible to see a Toro Rosso so high up the grid. Didn't expect Kvyat actually to be there. Would have expected his teammate. But as you can see, Kimi Räikkönen is now out of the race. Pretty strange to see. And we can see now our gearbox has actually fixed itself. We were going to come in to fix it, but thank goodness it fixed itself. So skipping now to lap 7, well, lap 8 now. We can see people are starting to make their stops. The two runners in front of us who still didn't make their stops are on the same strategy as me, so let's hope this can work out for us. And it's lap 9 now. We're going to come in to change our tires. I think we are the only guys who did, but you can see right there how good that reaction time was, how good that timing was. It literally turned green as soon as I almost came on the line, which is incredible. I thought that was pretty good to see, so I decided to put it in. But we can see Sergio Perez has we have joined behind Sergio Perez, but we're gonna still fight with him. He does have slower tires, but he is on warm tires. We come out on pits on cold tires, but we managed to get him fairly easily. We can see Massa, who's clearly struggling. We should be able to get past him pretty easily. You can see these couple of corners, he's really going slowly. We get a pretty bad run there, but we should have slipstream and DRS to get him. We put it up to Rich Mix. Come on, let's hope to get him. This downforce setup isn't really working well with us. We're still not catching up. He must have a straight line speed setup, as he locks up there, huge lockup from him, and we get him pretty damn easily. Continuing on to lap 13, we can see there's our details of our power units, and a few laps to go now. And it seems that we're going to finish in this race pretty comfortably, but we can see our gearbox has failed once again. I decided to speed it up so that you guys can see we're revving up everywhere. Then Massa passed, as you can see on the straights. Perez did the same, and we lost 2 positions just like that. We collide there a bit with Perez. We're gonna try and squeeze him out to save ourselves a good position. Speed it up again. As you can see, we're losing heaps of time to our teammate, and trying to block off Perez while doing so. But then it seemed to fix itself once again, but as it did, Perez was fighting with us. and yeah, it's fixed itself, so we can actually try and go for Massa again, but our tires are definitely not going to let us do so, because they're pretty much worn out now. Our fuel wasn't doing too well because of all that revving, but yeah, we're currently trying to keep elbows out to keep P5. Our tires are pretty much at their maximum now. Sebastian Vettel wins the race, but as we come into the last few corners, we can see there's Felipe Massa in front of us. If we had a lap or two more, we could have actually caught him and maybe caught P4, but we go over the line at a pretty decent P5.
Thank you for all your hard work out there. That was a strong drive and a good finish. Well done.
A nearly flawless performance here then, and a commanding victory. So, Ant, how exactly did they set themselves apart from the pack today?
Well, I'd say it's just raw pace, plain and simple. I mean, we could sit here and talk about strategy all day, the overtaking, looking after the tyres, but at the end of it all, if you want to win, you need a package that's got the speed over everyone else, and that's exactly what they had today.
So, here they come now, out onto the podium. Wherever you go, anywhere in the world, the prancing horse flags are dominant in the grandstands, and they're out in force again today. It's Ferrari on the top step once more. And after this round of the World Championship, here's how things look in the drivers' table. It wasn't the best weekend for our championship leader, and their advantage at the top has been reduced. Now then, Anthony Davidson, who was your driver of the day?
Felipe Massa. For me, that was an outstanding performance that drew on every bit of his not unsubstantial experience.
And here's how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. Mercedes moves to the top of the table. Meanwhile, Toro Rosso's strong weekend allows them to continue their march up the table. That's it for today's Grand Prix, and from Ant and I, it's goodbye, and see you again next time.
So P5 for the Spanish Grand Prix, our teammate Felipe Massa gets driver of the day and finished in one place in front of us, so he had a pretty good race. He really deserved driver of the day. But in the constructors, we can see we're on 4th behind Red Bull, a pretty sizable gap, and equal with points with Force India. So Sergio Perez clearly doing the job there for Force India, but Ocon not doing so. But if you did enjoy this video, guys, please leave a like, subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.